I just want to wave to my candidate, like our candidates, our team. Say hi, everyone. We'll catch up again in a minute, but thanks so much for being here.
Yes, we will. Oh. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Here we go, here we go. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to Toronto St. Paul's. I am Dr. Jill Andrew, and I am the Ontario NDP candidate running for re-election to a third term to continue serving our community here locally in St. Paul's and at Queen's Park. I gotta say, it's Pink Shirt Day, and man, Ontario is fighting a pretty big bully. And there is one team that can fight that bully, and that team is the Ontario NDP. Can I get an amen?
Right on, amen.
We are really lucky to have the Ontario NDP leader joining us this morning, Marit Stiles. And we are joined by several of our NDP MPP candidates who will be rightfully taking their seat at Queen's Park in less than a day. We are joined by Chris. Give it up for Chris. Gerard. Alexa. Jess. Faisal. Alex. Kate. And of course, myself again, Jill Andrew, running to be re-elected here in Toronto St. Paul's. So we've been chatting with Sophia. And Sophia is a TTC transit user. And she's been talking about some of the delays that she experiences getting to work, getting to family commitments, getting to medical appointments. And we hear you loud and clear. Many of us here are transit users. And we know that we need a province that pays its share to ensure that we have a system that works, that's reliable, that's affordable, and that works. I think that's the least we can ask for here in this province of Ontario. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I think we also need real rent control. I know in Toronto St. Paul's we do. We need it now, not 20 years from now, that's for sure. And we need to be able to have doctors. We need to be able to have doctors, every single one of us. But really, we need to be able to feel happy in our community, heard in our community, listened to, respected. And we need people to stand with us and be on their side. And the Ontario NDP, that is our plan. That is our plan. And we're going to take that plan right to Queen's Park when we're elected, to continue serving the fine province of Ontario. I'm going to pass it on to Marit Stiles, our leader, and she could just very well be the next Premier of Ontario.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody, Dr. Jill Andrew. Right on. Hardest working MPP Toronto St. Paul's has ever seen. Just fantastic. Thank you so much. Hi, folks. I am so proud to be joined here today by many of our candidates in the Toronto and Mississauga GTA. We are so excited to be here with all of you. Listen, this election has been a little unusual, right? The first election in generations to be held in the winter. The first election where a sitting premier has been under criminal investigation by the RCMP. And I want to tell you, it is time. We have 48 hours now to change the channel, to get rid of the scandals and the corruption of Doug Ford and his government and turn the page for a new Ontario, a new vision, an NDP vision of Ontario and an NDP government that's on your side. And I want to say this, as I've been out there, and thank you, Sophia, for sharing your views about what it's like to be a transit rider in Toronto. And, many of us, as Dr. Andrew said, have been and are transit riders. I'm a transit rider. And we've seen the cost of Doug Ford and his government. And we've seen it in so many respects. And as I travel the province, I see it every day, and I hear it every day from people here. The rising cost of everything, the lack of family doctors, 2.5 million Ontarians without a family doctor, the state of our schools and our education system, the high cost of groceries and rent and what that means for so many families out there. We see it every day. And so I want to say today that with 48 hours to go, a little less actually, I am so proud of our teams, of the campaign we have run. I am excited about the momentum and the energy that I am seeing in ridings all across this province, ridings like this one, where we are going to re-elect a strong NDP MPP, Dr. Jill Andrew. In many ridings in Toronto, ridings like the ones I've been visiting over the last few days and like I'll visit today, where we are going to flip blue seats to orange. And so many others. And I want to tell you, last night I had the great privilege of standing with so many union members, working people, union leaders up in Scarborough who talked about, what their members are experiencing every day. It's time. We have to make change. We cannot afford another 4 years of this. So Ontarians have a choice to make. And the Liberals are telling you that they are entitled to your vote. Well, you know what? The Liberals aren't entitled to anything. The Liberals have received donations from the same private healthcare insiders, the same Greenbelt developers that Doug Ford and the Conservatives have received donations from. We cannot afford to go down that road again. We need real change here. Right? We have the power of our vote to make real change. You have the power through your vote to fight rising costs with a grocery rebate program, with real rent control, and to put food on the table of so many Ontarians. You have the power with your vote to build affordable housing. We're going to get it done. And you have the power with your vote to ensure that we bring in a health care guarantee so that Ontarians will have family doctors and see a stronger public health care system. I got to tell you, this has not been an easy election for Ontarians, right? Nobody. And Doug Ford thought people were going to stay at home. He thought he was going to pull one over on Ontarians. Well, my friends, the sun is out. It is shining today. Right? The clouds have parted. This is the opportunity we have. And I know that Ontarians want to see that change. So please, everybody, get out there. Vote. Vote for change. Vote for your values. Vote to elect new Democrats in every riding across this province. Let's get it done. Let's bring it home. Let's elect an NDP government and a premier who will be on your side. Thank you. And with that, I'm really happy to take your questions. And good morning. It is beautiful out here, hey? Wow. I gotta say, honestly, I woke up yesterday, I think I was in London, and the day before that I was in Windsor when it started to warm up, and I wasn't sure it was gonna follow us here, but it did. So yeah, we'll take credit. All right. Hi. Well, look, I mean, first of all, Toronto St. Paul's is literally next door to my riding, so I love to be here, and this is a community that I spend a lot of time in as well, so I wanted to be here with my folks. But I'll tell you what, we are actually going into a lot of ridings that we want to hold for sure. We know we can do it, but we'll be connecting as we have been for the last few days in ridings where we want to flip from blue to orange. You know what? I got to tell you, I expect that we are going to gain seats in this election, that we're going to hold on to these amazing MPPs that we have in every corner, in every region of this province. And I'm going to fight like hell over the next 2 days because, look, Doug Ford, he thought he was going to pull one over on Ontarians. And what I'm hearing in every part of the province that I visit is that people are done with that. They've had enough of the scandals, enough of the waste, enough of the corruption, right? We've got to reverse course. So I am fighting for Ontarians here. I'm fighting for their future. I'm fighting for my kids' future. We can't afford 4 more years of this. So I'm going to fight like hell every second of every day. And, you know, a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, oh my God, it feels like a few months ago. A few weeks ago, Doug Ford quit his job. He quit on Ontarians. This is our opportunity to elect a government that's going to bring real change in Ontario. Hey. Okay. You know what? I've always been very clear. For New Democrats, look, we already have a lot of seats in every region and every corner of this province, right? New Democrats have boots on the ground in many parts of this province. I truly believe that the path to victory for us is in flipping blue seats to orange, but I will not allow the Liberals to feel that they are somehow entitled to the votes of Ontarians. You know, when I hear them taking donations from the same private healthcare insiders that the Conservatives are accepting, I think Ontarians have a right to know that this is not, and I said it on the opening day of this election, this is not the Liberal Party that many people who voted Liberal in the past have voted for, right? This is a different situation. And those Liberals, the Bonnie Crombie Liberals, are accepting donations from private healthcare insiders. They're accepting donations from Greenbelt developers. I don't see a whole lot of difference there. What we're talking about, and we are the only party that is addressing one of the biggest issues that people out there have, which is the rising cost of living. We have to fight rising costs. We have to bring in real rent control so people can keep their homes and save for the future. We have to make sure that people have the support they need to put food on the table. And we have to fix the healthcare crisis. And you can't trust the Liberals to do that. They brought us hallway healthcare, right? And the Conservatives have poured gasoline all over that. We will not go back that way. We need to change things here in the province of Ontario. You know, as I've said all along, I think people should vote where their values are. And, you know, I think our values and what we're standing for in this election is what connects with so many people. I've seen it everywhere I go. Folks like Sophia, you know, who use transit every day and need to know that that transit is going to be safe, reliable, affordable. People who rent and need to know that their rent isn't going to keep going up. Rent in this province has gone up between 40 and 50%. Almost in every community around this province since the Ford Conservatives were elected. Nobody else is talking about getting that under control. Nobody else is talking about building the truly affordable housing that Ontarians need in this province today. So I feel like people should vote for the vision of Ontario that they want to see. And we will. The NDP will get those things done. We will fight rising costs. We will hire doctors. We will fix our schools. And we will fight for every single job in every single sector in this province. And we will build the homes that Ontarians need. Hi, how are you? Bonjour. Well, I mean, actually, I'd say, you know, the mental health and addiction crisis that we have seen all across this province is something we have focused on a fair amount. Yeah, and as I've said before, you know, what we've been very deeply opposed to is the fact that this government pulled resources out of communities at a time when we should be adding resources. Addiction and mental health crisis is a healthcare issue. You cannot pull healthcare resources out of communities without replacing them with more and better. And I want to add to that what I've seen as I crisscross the province increasingly is municipalities, towns, and cities are being forced to compete with each other to get limited resources from this government. That is shameful. That is shameful. An NDP government, we will make sure that every community has the community mental health and addiction supports that they need, so that when somebody says, you know what, I need help, that help is there for them immediately, not months later, not a year later, and not after it's far too late. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Good morning. What we've seen is Doug Ford remove services to support people who have mental health challenges and addiction. Very early on in his term, he cut $300 million to mental health supports. The wait lists have ballooned for support, and that's unacceptable. We've also seen Doug Ford criminalize people with mental health issues, with addiction issues, threatening to throw them in jail, threatening thousands of dollars in fines. So my opinion is this: we need more services, not less. More services. You don't cut services away and not replace them. Thank you.
Thank you. I have.
So why not promise this, the return of those closed safe consumption sites and the increase of them like the Greens did in your plan?
Every community in this province is dealing with a different element of this. And there are different opinions and considerations. I want to listen to community. I want to listen to experts. And as we've said all along, we will be driven by empathy and evidence. That is going to be what leads us when we talk about healthcare issues, and addiction and mental health issues are healthcare issues. So that's what we're going to lead with: evidence and empathy every single time. Unlike the government, who I would say, as Dr. Andrews said, have criminalized people, have not approached this issue with empathy at all, and certainly have not listened to the evidence. Thank you. All right, everybody, thanks so much. Let's get out there and knock on some more doors and get people out voting. Yeah.